All right, so you're getting ready for that sales support assistant interview. Well, we're here to help you knock it out of the park. We're diving deep into RoleCatcher's resources today. We know you want to walk into that interview feeling confident, prepared for anything. That's what this deep dive is all about.
Yeah.
We've got RoleCatcher's Career Guide, which gives you a real sense of what this role is all about. The interview guide is packed with insights on how to answer those tricky questions.
Oh, yeah. This can be tough.
And we'll even touch on RoleCatcher's AI features
Oh, those are pretty neat.
and how they can give you a personalized edge.
Definitely.
Okay, let's start by painting a picture of what a day in the life of a sales support assistant actually looks like. The Career Guide lays it all out.
It really does.
Think of it as kind of like the central hub of the sales team. You're managing sales plans. You're working those spreadsheets like a pro. You're becoming a master of customer data. And you're making sure everything runs smoothly.
You're the one who keeps those sales pipelines flowing. And trust me, companies are really starting to understand just how valuable that is.
I bet. The Career Guide even mentions that the demand for these roles is on the rise.
For sure.
Companies are realizing that sales support assistants are key to their success.
Absolutely.
But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Those interview questions.
Oh,
That can sometimes feel like turf balls.
let's tackle those head on.
All right, first up from the interview guide is, can you tell me about your experience with CRM software?
Okay, yeah.
So what are they really asking here?
Well, this is where they're trying to gauge your comfort level with those customer relationship management systems. Think Salesforce, HubSpot, those kinds of platforms.
I see.
They want to know if you can use these tools to track customer interactions, manage sales leads, and maybe even pull some reports.
So how do you approach this one? Especially if your experience might be a little limited.
You know, honesty is always the best policy. If you've used specific CRM software, talk about it, highlight what you're proficient in, and explain how you've used those features. Even if your experience is more on the entry-level side, show them you're eager to learn. Mention any courses you've taken or any independent study you've done.
That's a great way to demonstrate that you're proactive and ready to dive in.
Exactly. And be ready for those follow-up questions too. They might ask, what CRM features do you find most valuable? Or, how do you see CRM systems contributing to overall sales efficiency? Think about those beforehand and you'll be ready for anything.
Preparation is key. Okay, on to another question that often pops up. How would you handle a difficult customer?
Yes.
The dreaded difficult customer scenario.
It's a classic for a reason. They're looking to see how you handle pressure, how you solve problems, and how committed you are to keeping those customers happy.
So how do you navigate this one without sounding robotic or rehearsed?
Start by emphasizing your active listening skills. Explain that you'd first try to really understand the customer's concerns and put yourself in their shoes. Then, outline the steps you take to find a resolution. Maybe you'd offer a solution, escalate it to a supervisor if needed, or even work towards a compromise.
It's all about showing them you can turn a potentially negative situation into a positive one.
Right. And if you have a concise, relatable anecdote about a time you successfully de-escalated a tricky customer situation, that's a great way to illustrate your approach. Just make sure it focuses on the positive outcome.
Makes sense. And remember, even when describing a challenging encounter, always maintain a professional and respectful tone. Now let's tackle another common question. Can you explain how you prioritize and manage your workload?
Oh, okay.
So what are they getting at here?
This one is all about showcasing those organizational skills and proving that you're a master of time management. They want to see that you can juggle multiple tasks, effectively meet deadlines, and keep the workflow moving smoothly.
So how do you really impress them with your answer here?
Walk them through your process. Do you use a specific method? There are a lot of great ones out there. Do you break down larger projects into smaller, more manageable steps? Do you set realistic deadlines for yourself? Give them a peek into your organizational style.
You're essentially letting them see how efficient and organized you can be.
Precisely. And here's a little tip from the career guide. Highlight your flexibility. Things can change quickly in a fast-paced environment, so showing that you can adapt to shifting priorities is a huge asset.
That's a great point. Okay, let's look at one more question before we move on. This one is often used to assess your teamwork skills. Can you describe a time when you had to work with a cross-functional team to achieve a sales goal?
All right, teamwork.
So what kind of example should you use here?
Think back to a time you worked on a project that involved people from different areas of the company, maybe marketing, sales, operations, or even customer service. Describe the goal, your role in the team, and what you contributed to the overall success.
And what if your experience with cross-functional teams is a little limited?
No problem. You can still highlight those collaborative skills. Think about group projects from school, volunteer experiences, or even situations where you worked with people from different backgrounds to achieve a shared objective.
That's really helpful. Okay, before we dive into more questions, let's take a quick detour to talk about RoleCatcher's AI features. These tools are pretty amazing for interview prep.
Oh, they're fantastic.
They can really give you a personalized edge.
They can.
RoleCatcher's AI can analyze job descriptions to pinpoint the key skills employers are looking for.
Yep.
Then it helps you tailor your answers to highlight those skills effectively.
It's amazing.
So you're not giving those generic one-size-fits-all answers. You're crafting responses specifically designed to impress that particular employer.
Exactly.
And the AI can even provide feedback on your video practice sessions.
Yeah.
It's like having a virtual coach helping you refine your delivery, body language, and overall presence.
It's an incredible resource, especially if you want to make a strong first impression.
Totally. Okay, back to those interview questions. Are you ready for the next round?
Hit me, bring it on. Let's dig into some more questions. You might encounter these for this sales support assistant role.
Perfect. What do we have next? What's on the list from RoleCatcher's interview guide?
Okay, this one really gets to the core of the sales process. Can you explain how you identify and qualify sales leads?
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
It's all about finding those potential customers who are most likely to actually buy something, right? Not just any lead. You want the right ones.
Exactly. They want to see if you understand how to find those leads, analyze their needs, their pain points, and determine if what your company is selling is a good fit.
Right.
This is where your research and analytical skills really come into play.
I see. So how do you showcase that process? In your answer, I mean.
You got to walk them through your approach. Do you start by researching companies in a specific industry? Do you look for businesses that are maybe experiencing challenges that your product can help them solve? Maybe you leverage online resources like industry reports or even social media
Right.
to gather insights.
Right. It's like you're kind of like a detective. You're gathering clues to uncover these potential opportunities.
I love that analogy. Yeah, you're piecing together information to see if there's a potential match. And to really stand out, you could share a specific example, like a time when you successfully identified and qualified a lead, maybe one that led to a big sale or opened up a whole new market for your company.
Makes sense. That's a great way to bring your answer to life and really show them you have that knack for spotting those valuable leads. Speaking of adapting, the next question from the interview guide is, can you describe a time when you had to adapt your sales approach to meet a customer's needs?
Okay, so this one highlights your flexibility and your customer centricity. Every customer is different.
Right.
And sometimes you need to kind of tailor your approach to their specific needs and preferences.
Yeah, it's about reading the customer and adjusting your style accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pick a good example for this one?
Think of a time when you had to maybe change your messaging, your presentation style, or even just your communication style to really connect with the customer. Maybe you simplified your explanation for someone who's new to the industry. Or maybe you had to go into a lot more detail, technical detail, for a tech-savvy client.
It's all about really understanding your audience and tailoring your approach to fit them. And of course, you always want to highlight a positive outcome. A closed deal, a satisfied customer, or even just a strengthened relationship. That makes your answer even stronger.
Absolutely. Demonstrating that you can kind of turn a potential challenge into a positive outcome is key. Now, let's shift gears. This is a slightly more technical question. Can you describe your experience with sales forecasting and pipeline management?
Oh yeah, this one delves into the operational side of sales. So what exactly are they looking for here?
They want to gauge your understanding of sales forecasting. It involves predicting future sales based on historical data, market trends, and other relevant factors. And then there's pipeline management. That's all about tracking potential deals as they move through the sales process, from that initial contact to the close.
Okay, so what if you haven't had a ton of hands-on experience in these areas?
Honesty, as always, is the best policy. Acknowledge your experience level,
Okay.
but emphasize that you're eager to learn and that you have a grasp of the fundamental concepts. You could discuss how you've used spreadsheets to track data, or maybe mention how you've followed sales trends in your industry.
Right, it's about showcasing your willingness to learn and adapt. That's highlighted as a valuable trait in RoleCatcher's career guide.
Precisely. And if you do have experience, walk them through your process for developing sales projections, managing the pipeline, and identifying potential roadblocks. You can mention any specific software or methodologies you've used.
That makes sense. Okay, let's move on to a question that emphasizes the importance of staying ahead of the game. How do you stay up to date with industry trends and sales best practices?
All right, so this one highlights your commitment to continuous learning and your passion for your field. They want to see that you're proactive and invested in professional development.
Okay, so how do you show them that you're a lifelong learner, that
Yeah.
you're always trying to improve?
Share your sources. Do you read industry publications, follow influential blogs, listen to podcasts, attend webinars or conferences? You gotta mention those resources and be specific.
Okay, so it's about showcasing your initiative and showing them that you're engaged with the latest developments. In the field, I mean.
Exactly. And a great way to kind of take it a step further is to share a specific example of how you applied something you learned to improve your work. Did you pick up a new sales technique or discover a helpful CRM feature that you were able to implement?
Right. Those real-world examples really make a difference. What's our next challenge from the interview guide?
Okay, let's tackle this one. Can you describe your experience with sales analytics and reporting? It's all about those data skills. They're so crucial in sales today.
Yeah, data is king these days. So what are they really looking for with this question?
Well, sales analytics involves analyzing data to uncover trends, patterns, and insights that can drive sales performance.
Okay.
Reporting focuses on presenting that data clearly and concisely, often using visuals, like charts and graphs.
So what if your experience with those specific tasks is limited?
Focus on transferable skills. Have you worked with spreadsheets to organize data? Have you created presentations that communicate information effectively? Highlight those experiences and emphasize your willingness to learn new software and techniques.
Right, it's about showcasing your foundational skills and your eagerness to expand your expertise.
Right. And if you do have experience with sales analytics and reporting, you want to dive into the specifics. Describe the tools you've used, the types of reports you've generated, and the insights you've gleaned. Maybe you helped identify a new market opportunity or streamlined a sales process based on data analysis.
Now that's impressive.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears for a moment and revisit RoleCatcher's AI features. These tools can really make a difference during interview prep.
For sure. Remember, they can analyze job descriptions to pinpoint the skills that employers are really looking for.
And that allows you to really tailor your answers to address those specific needs.
Right.
It really makes your application stand out from the crowd.
It does. And don't forget about that AI feedback on those video practice sessions.
Right.
It's like having a personalized coach helping you refine your delivery, your body language, your overall presentation.
It's invaluable for anyone who wants to make a strong first impression and really boost their confidence. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground with these interview questions. Are you ready to wrap things up and explore what the future holds for a sales support assistant?
I'm ready. Let's talk about the future. Where can this role take you?
Yeah, let's get into it. One of the coolest things about this career path is the growth potential.
Absolutely.
The career guide lays out a pretty clear progression from entry level all the way up to senior positions.
Yeah,
You could become a specialist, a coordinator, a manager, even a senior manager.
it's true. And what's so fascinating is that you can specialize as you gain more experience.
Oh, right.
You know, maybe you become that go-to expert in CRM management or data analysis or even team leadership.
So many options to explore. And the career guide highlights how important continuous learning is in this field.
Yeah,
So you're always expanding your skill set and knowledge base.
for sure. It's a dynamic field. It keeps you on your toes,
Yeah.
keeps you challenged, which is why I think a lot of people find it so rewarding.
I can definitely see that. Okay, before we send our listeners off to conquer that interview, let's touch on one more thing that might give them an edge.
You're talking about RoleCatcher's AI features, right?
Exactly. I think it's worth highlighting how those tools can personalize your prep and really make your application stand out.
Right. They analyze those job descriptions to find the skills that employers are looking for.
So you're not just throwing generic answers out there. You're tailoring your responses to show them exactly what they need.
Exactly. It's a game changer, especially when you're competing with other people for a job.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the AI feedback on those practice videos.
Oh, yeah. It's so full.
Like having a personal coach, helping you make sure you look and sound your best.
Right in your pocket.
All right, we've given you the insights, the strategies, and even the AI secret weapons. Now it's your time to shine.
That's right. Companies are out there searching for talented people just like you. This is a field with a bright future.
So go in there with confidence, showcase your skills, and let your personality shine through. We're cheering you on.
Every step of the way.
And before we go, one last thought, something to think about. As a sales support assistant, how do you see yourself contributing to a company's success beyond just hitting those sales targets?
That's a great question. It helps you connect your own goals with the company's vision, and it really shows them that you're thinking about the bigger picture.
Awesome advice. Good luck with that interview. And don't forget to check out RoleCatcher for all those resources and tools we talked about today.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.